Hello, Bart Riley here to give away another project idea that I cannot use for myself, because just like the Dystopia Girl pitch, I am not part of the perspective demographic, nor do I know anyone in the transgender community. Not for any particular reason, I've just never met one in person. Before I start on the idea, let me just explain where I am in the social justice movement. Thanks to my skin, gender and sexual orientation, I do not receive any direct attacks. I do not produce enough politically charged content to consider myself a bard, but I try to support those who do. Properly, not just anger-induced protests. So I am a social justice cleric. That's the best metaphor you're going to get out of me. Now, I will admit this one isn't as fully thought out as previous episodes. I hope that's not a call for discrimination. If I say anything offensive in explaining this, I don't intend it to be offensive, but if you're part of that community, that's your opinion, and I do apologise. This is a take on Invasion of the Body Snatchers, that infiltration of humanity by an external force. Essentially a transgender coming-of-age story through the lens of science fiction, aliens, and so on. This one starts at the end. Humanity is completely taken over, everyone's happy, no one's fighting, right? Wrong. Our main character is an alien who doesn't like the body they have been given. The choice of pronouns, male to female, female to male, it's totally up to you. But the idea is this alien wants a new body. But because humanity has already been wiped out, their society is enforcing them to stay this way. There's no more humans left. What are they supposed to do? Now, I will admit, I've never actually seen any Body Snatchers movies. This idea came from a case study / comparison I once saw. So I don't know if there's ever been an explanation for the process of infiltration, but for this one I'm suggesting both. This alien species can biologically take over other species, but because biology has failed this one particular character, the process that they try to resolve it is through technology, or underground, maybe illegal processes that have been developed to solve this particular problem. Science. And this is an exploration of literally being uncomfortable in your own skin. Even though everybody's not supposed to be in their skin, only one or two characters are actually admitting and trying to do something about it. And in this context, you can do visual metaphor by body horror, like the D'Onofrio bug in Men in Black. I keep telling you, this skin does not fit me. It is literally rotting on me. And as it goes on, they are alienated from their loved ones who don't want them to change, and then they join another group that learns to accept them and love them and eventually find a way to be who they're supposed to be. Now, going back to the case study, it has been a while since I watched it. I should have prepared. I'm remembering the conclusion that the presenter came up with was at the end with the Donald Sutherland alien. He sits down at his desk and he's happy with the mediocrity. Whereas before, the human Donald didn't like that. So that contrast of satisfaction in conformity. Whereas this film is taking that and subverting it by showing, no, even in a conformist species, there are still beings who are unhappy with their lot in life. Oh, and another thing, let them have a happy ending. Okay, if it's not a biopic, you don't always have to kill your trans protagonists. Or at least not let them live in misery afterwards. You don't have to at me with every exception, I just know that it happens a lot. Now, just because I'm not doing this as a cis person, I'm not going to stop anyone else taking this idea. I just highly recommend that you at least know some transgender people. Please. At least have a discussion with someone. Because I do know the risk of being labelled woke with a story reimagining like this. You know, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, all these sci-fi franchises being changed with that mindset. But was there ever a big continuity with Body Snatchers? Or that big a fan base that would chuck a fit over this? Well, if I didn't piss off trans people with this video, I'm pretty sure I pissed off the fanboys. And not for the first time. Thanks for watching. This is my verbal declaration that I will not sue anyone for using the previous outline to create their own work, regardless of how much fame or money you might get from it. I'm definitely not the kind of artist who thinks I can own a concept. However, I would like to see what comes out of this video just for comparison and curiosity. If you do make something or find an existing piece that's similar, please let me know through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'll happily check it out. And if you want to see the ideas I am working on for myself, please visit my Patreon page for samples and previews, no payment required. Happy creating, Bard Riley out! This is a take on Avengers? No? Revenge. Invasion. That setup where humanity is integrated, infiltrated. What is it with my language today?